All right, Mr. President, it's good to be in your presence, and it's good to finally sit with you across the table and put up some questions that are bothering me concerning Nigerian football. You know, on a personal note, we come a long way, but when it comes to running Nigerian football, there's a whole lot of mistrust between the people and the leadership. And we kind of understand as well that because of how peculiar things are in Nigeria, it's difficult to really come out fully and say, okay, this is the problem we're facing, this is what is happening. Have you been coping with running the Nigerian Football Federation since you got into the office?
Well, I mean, it's nice to have you
Yeah, thank you.
in my office. You'll be worried about like you. So, we can wait for something before we start. But the truth is, running Nigeria was quite peculiar. From day one of my leadership, it's been one issue or the other. Annulment of election for the second month till date. But in spite of that, because I'm passion driven, I just believe that leadership comes with a lot of turbulence. Leadership comes with a lot of challenges. So, and we have to live and cope with it. So,
Yeah.
because some are genuine criticism, like all your criticism, I see them as being genuine, and it drives
Thank you.
me.
Thank you.
It drives me to work harder to see what I believe are not right, to them right. So to me, no matter there are some people that you see that you believe that I would never ever talk to, but it's not like that. That's not leadership. Leadership is you look at all the criticism, and you see those ones that you that are productive to you, then the other ones put them away. That doesn't mean that the person is not doesn't have good intentions for you, but they ventilate it in various ways. So, but like I said, it's been very, very tough, very peculiar, but almightily we thank God.
Okay, so let's backtrack a bit to 2018 because one of the highlights of your leadership as the president of Nigerian Football Federation is the fact that you came in at a time where qualification for the Nations Cup became very difficult. Something that used to be taken for granted for Nigeria. We didn't qualify the Nations Cup before you came in, after being the winners in 2013, and then we didn't qualify your first term in office. And then we qualified for the World Cup with one game or 1.5 game to spare, as the case may be. Then you perform this miracle of the Nike jersey. This has never happened before, not for Nigeria, not for any country in the world, not even Brazil, France, Spain, England, or any country. We performed this miracle of transitioning from wearing Adidas to wearing Nike, and then an incredible unveiling. Can you talk us through how that happened? And the end point of this question is, it was said that Nike made $3.8 million from sales. I don't know how true that is, but that was the story going around. Now, the question we want to know is, in that contract, did Nigeria benefit from this mammoth sales that came out from the unveiling of jersey?
I would like to say clearly that when we decided to partner Nike, we made it clear to them that we are going to increase a lot of flexibility when it comes to our apparel, our jerseys, all their gears. We are looking at lifestyle, we're looking at where you can wear your jersey to church, to even to court, to mosque, to nightclub, something different, we just made it clear to them. And they decided to go into their labs and decided to come out with something quite novel. And then we went through a couple of presentations with them in and out, but it took cognizance of some of our 60-70% of our ideas, And then that was what happened about that. Just, we introduced a lot of flexibility. We wanted a lifestyle change. We wanted something that is not regimented, something that is not, what we wanted to depart from the status quo, and that's it. So even if we didn't win the World Cup, at least we won just the best jerseys from both the male and the female. So it was something that we were really excited about. And coming to Nike at the beginning did not believe that they were going to, even some of us, but some of our members, people, stakeholders, had some doubts about the explosion of go to that jerseys. So Nike is when they're doing that, they only prepare for an XYZ amount of jerseys. Like if they had done 1 million jerseys, 2 million would have sold them. But
Yeah.
they got to that. People did not do that. And we had certain percentage, was it 8%? of royalty from sales of jerseys, which of course they are paid part of, or we are paid, because we have everything properly documented and audited. So that's it. So it wasn't up to what uh, people were. At the end of the day, people started duplicating those jerseys, doing all sorts of things and trying to make it. And of course, when you see jersey 10,000 naira, see jersey 50,000 naira, that looks alike. So we want to go for the one that is cheaper. But today we are in terms of this one that's going to come out in the next few weeks. We're trying to guard against it, even though we've seen some already, which is so bad in some shops. But we enlisted the support of the security agencies in Nigeria. And it's also interesting to know that for the 2022 World Cup, we had our first meeting with Nike a week ago, and we needed to see what Nike is going to bring out in 2 years. To have these two combined together in terms of beauty.
All right. While I don't doubt the ingenuity of Nike's creative team and the NFF, you're a man of style, and the members of your board are also people who are highly fashionable. And no disrespect to the previous board and the rest of them, but it is what it is. We've got to call it. But let's come down to when we signed a deal with Nike at the beginning. We were negotiating from a position of weakness. We had just been disgraced or refused by Adidas. Puma was not willing to touch us. Umbro was not interested. Nike just reluctantly picked us. Now we created a massive sale. Have we gone back to the table and said, you know what? When we came in at the first time, we were begging. We were like the woman with the issue of blood. We needed anything can serve. But now we've produced, you guys have produced a jersey for us, and we've proven that we can sell. Meaning that the next jersey you're going to produce for Nigeria, you might as well produce 10 million copies and it will be sold out, because you saw the lines in London and everywhere, even in Russia, people were begging for our jerseys. Have you gone back to the table and say, no, we can't take what you're giving us before. We're going to another World Cup now.
Yeah.
We have to review this.
In the last two contracts, there was no compensation in terms of clauses in the contract. When I mean base compensation, for example, you have 10 naira, whether good or bad, there's 10 naira. The contract we had before was, if you win the Under 17 World Cup, it was tied to a specific championship. This is what you get. If you win the World Cup, this is what you get. But this one, what we're going to renegotiate, we should also understand that in Africa, there are only two countries that uses Nike, or that use Nike, Nigeria and South Africa.
Yeah.
And I believe they're trying to wind up the one they have with South Africa. Globally, Nike is concentrating more on clubs because that's where they make more money.
Absolutely.
And you see, Nike is not just a regular organization. They invest in a lot of things. What do you invest in? What gives us more money? Because they have a business. So, but we know that Nigeria is prime based on our population and our followers or following. So, and what we did was we signed a 5 years contract, we renewed, which have that 3 years. Then automatically renewal again for another 5 years. And now they introduced what's called a base compensation of about $500,000. And also increase your royalty from 8, I think, to now 15%. You should also understand that there's a limit to which you can go. Otherwise, they can also call a bluff. Remember, Adidas, when Adidas was in Nigeria, Nigeria just won the Nations Cup.
Yeah.
Nigeria was lazy. So why do you think Adidas left? So these brands, it depends on how you push them, they might decide to just go. And you don't want a brand like Nike to leave and you start looking for other brands. So we believe that with time, like what we are talking now for the next World Cup, we are going to be part of, like I have a Zoom meeting with their main dealer and Nike on Friday tomorrow. We're going to tell them that, listen, now we need to have 2-3 million. I think we have 10 million sold at 15%. That gives us 15% of that's about almost $150 million.
Wow.
So we are going to be tending towards that direction. But everything has to be gradual and tactical.